welcome back. So today I thought that I would do a voiceover and basically just kind of chit chat about what I got going on here. So I had made a poll on my channel asking if you guys wanted to see like a bullet journal setup. I already drew the spreads because that would have been the longest part. And this video in itself was already like an hour and didn't want to go that route. So I just kind of walked you through like some initial setting up that I was doing for this notebook. So the notebook that I'm showing is the Nuna notebook. I actually purchased these from Barnes and Nobles. They were like 30% off at my local Barnes and Nobles. So I purchased like several more after that video when I shared the first Nuna notebook with you all. And I actually ended up getting the one that I originally wanted, which is the one that I'm going to be using and setting up in this video. But yeah, so basically these notebooks, I've been very intrigued about these notebooks for quite some time. I've had them in my cart. I would say that there are videos on YouTube about the Nuna notebooks, but no one in particular like doing like playing with me's or like even flip throughs. Like there are very few videos on the Nuna notebooks. The paper is called Munkin paper and it's 120 GSM, and the grid spacing, don't quote me on it, I think 3.5. Sorry, I had to take a pause because my toddler was asking me something. But yeah, I think the grid is 3.5. I'm not too sure. But I did keep the little like note card that tells you all about your Nuna notebook. So I'll do a follow-up video because I'm not exactly finished, but finished enough to the point where I can use it. So there's 256 pages, like I shared. The dots are very tiny, like they are so tiny. I was perfectly fine using my traveler's notebook. There were no issues. I didn't get FOMO. I didn't get bored. I simply just finished my daily TN insert and wanted to really try the Nuna notebook because it was a notebook that I had been very curious about for quite some time. But at the time when I could purchase one, they were full price at Barnes and Nobles, and I'm sorry, but I did not want to pay no 39 something odd dollars for this notebook if I didn't like it. But they went on sale for 30% off, which was a little bit better because I paid like 27, 26. I think this one was 26. And plus I had some discounts because I am a Barnes and Nobles member. So yeah. So it worked out great for me. So I think in the last clip, you might be hearing my son. I think in the last clip I was showing that I have a journal that I'm going to also be setting up. It was wrapped in like plastic wrap or packing wrap. I'm going to be setting that one up too, but just not in this video. I'm still probably going to journal in my bullet journal. I think that I kind of want to just keep like a regular journal that isn't like inside my bullet journal, because then, you know, I can do more stuff in my actual journal. Plus I miss just having like a separate journal also. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm adding in this 2025 yearly overview. Boy, my son in the background, when he wants attention, he will do any and everything to get me to stop what I'm doing and attend to his non-needs. And I say non-needs because he never needs anything. It's just all pretend. But anyway, I laminated this because in the event that I wanted to take it out, I could take it out. And yeah, that was the whole intent of why I laminated it. But yeah, like I said, I did all the spreads prior to this because it would have took forever. So what I did is I went straight, like directly in. So I left the first page blank as it is attached. You will see that I do add some stuff on there. Like a cover page. You'll see that. But I left that page blank for cover page. I put the yearly overview on the back of that page. And then I went into, it goes in the direction of my yearly overview, then my month one, which is month for June, and habit tracker, and then July and habit tracker. And it just goes like that all the way through to the end of the year. And then it goes right into the first week of June. So to recap, yearly overview, months and habit trackers, and then weeklies. And then whatever else in between will go in the spaces where I have, space. But nonetheless, just backtracking a little bit, the Munkin paper. So it's very interesting because I don't know what the heck Munkin paper is. Like, what even is that? I don't know what the Munkin paper is. And also, like, some of my markers didn't do so great. Like, which is surprising because I was like, I'm not really sure what kind of paper is on the Clever Fox planners, or like, there's quite a few things I've used that have like 120 GSM. Even some of like the Zequins doesn't have 120 GSM, but with that thinner paper, like this Munkin paper is very, very interesting. So, I don't know, like I don't have the issues that I was having with this Munkin paper with those notebooks, those planners. And it's just funny because like, although this paper feels very similar to like the Clever Fox paper, like not being coated and all that stuff, it didn't perform like the Clever Fox paper, which is odd. And the Clever Fox paper performs much better. So I don't know for sure if Munkin paper is it for your bullet journals. Like, I don't know, but it is nice to write on. Like, it does feel very tactile, and by that I mean like there's a grit to it. Like when you write on it, you feel it. Even with gel pens and stuff like that. All my markers didn't bleed through, but some of my most favorite ones, they definitely bled through, and that was a little bit of a disappointment. But nonetheless, I'm gonna push through with this bullet journal and really like just give it a go. And just, I guess the only for sure way to figure out if you truly like something is to use it for an extended period of time to see if it's something that you would either continue with or not. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out June in it because, like I said, June is ultra busy. And I really contemplated whether or not I was going to set this up in the first place. But since I made that post and since I was already craving the different notebook, like once I finished my TN insert, I kind of started craving like, that new notebook feeling. But it wasn't that I was like not happy in my traveler's notebook. That was not the case. But anyway, yeah. The Nuna notebook is very interesting. That's all that I can tell you. Like, you didn't see any bleed through when I colored the like white space on my future log, but definitely I don't really think the outliners do too bad. Wash my hands.
Wash your hands.
My son is asking me to wash my hands. But yeah, nonetheless, I wanted to make this video for you all. I'm going to pause the video briefly just to kind of address my son. Give me 1 second. And we're back. So let's count how many times I have to stop the video in order to, get through this. But nonetheless, because June, actually this whole summer, let's just scratch June altogether. This whole summer is going to be jam-packed busy. my son, my son, he is in the other room doing the most. Oh my goodness. If you have a 3-year-old, then yeah, you probably are going through the motions as well. But I contemplated whether or not I was going to set up this bullet journal. I was thinking to myself, like, we could just pull out our rings and just do our ring bound system for the summer and just do that, because all the pages are already dated and set up, and all you have to do is just put them in a binder and use them, which it does not sound bad at all. Like, even now thinking about it in my head, like, even though I don't have like all the weeks set up, or even though I have all the months set up, I still have to do the weeks week by week. So I'm like, I'm not gonna throw out the idea of moving into my ring stuff for the summertime, especially since I already bought the system by the beginning of this year. Yeah, that just sounds way too appealing right now. But yeah, I'm gonna try really hard to keep up with my bullet journal in the midst of everything being so busy. I think I mentioned in the last video, we're going on vacation quite a few times this summer, and so life is just gonna be jam-packed busy for right now. So I'm gonna try to push out what I can in videos, and yeah, but a lot of it I'm just really gonna try to enjoy, because I feel like this hobby just consumes my life sometimes, especially when like I'm filming every week. And though I don't buy stuff technically for content, but I try to keep up with my stuff that I'm doing so that I have at least something to share for you all, and so that it's not just boring, because that's what I feel it is right now. Getting back to the video. So I got these, they're like washi stickers. I got them from Journals Day. So if you guys didn't watch that video, it's up. It's when Journals Day gave me the big gift card to just go crazy on like stationery. And so I purchased a whole crap of it. And I'm just kind of, it was really good stuff. I'm not going to say that it wasn't good stuff. It is like tedious because you do have to cut it out like you just saw. But it does work. Like, I love it. I love the way that the stuff that I picked actually looks. But anyway, like I said, I saved that front page because I wanted to make a cover page. So this is me making my cover page. I didn't used to do this in my journals, but I recently started doing this because it makes it more personal to me. Even my bullet journals, it just makes it more personal to me. Hence, your bullet journals are life books in themselves, so it makes sense to, you know, make them very personal. But yeah, there's nothing much to this. I didn't cut corners this time. When I did the Leuchtturm bullet journal setup, the 411, I cut corners with my monthly and I hated it. I mean, I used a stencil. I didn't take advantage of the space of the notebook. I just wasn't in love with the initial setup, which threw me off from the book itself. Loved what I was doing in my daily pages, but didn't love the actual setup, like the layout that I had. And I think that was just throwing me off. And it's hard to come back and redo it when you already have these spreads tabbed off and all that other stuff. So I'm learning to not do that in future bullet journals, to not just automatically go in and date and fill out every month, because then I have the options to change things. And yeah, that was my biggest gripe with the way that I set up my Leuchtturm, which is why it pushed me. Not only that, I was also not utilizing a lot of the space at the time as well, but a lot of it was just the layout, the spacing, and it pushed me into something a little bit more slimmer. And I still believe that I need something much more slimmer than this Nuna. But like I said, I wanted to really try this Nuna. All right, so backtrack. I got these elastics from Michaels. I got a bunch of them. I use them in my TNs to like string my TNs, and they're a lot thinner than the elastics that come in my Traveler's notebooks, because I'm using the Wanderings. My son, I'm gonna address the screaming. Oh my God. Gosh, if we could just like if we could just shoot our toddlers with behave arrows, I would, every time my son would act up, I would just like the little angels that come around for Valentine's Day, I would just hit my baby with behave arrows and then he would be like perfect all the time. Like, my goodness, I swear I repeat myself at least a million times. If you know, then you know. Like, you just know. Especially with the toddlers. Oh my gosh. But anyway, do you guys hear that? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's doing the most. Okay. Let's see if we can get through this. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I was trying to figure out how I wanted to make a closure for the Nuna notebook. As I mentioned, this notebook didn't come with any bells and whistles. There is no elastic band. There is no back pocket. There's no bookmarks. It didn't come with much of nothing. So these things you've kind of got to do yourself. Mind you, there were a lot of things that I didn't show in this video that I've already done like days after, but I'm just going to kind of touch base on those in another video. I did end up adding a bookmark that is removable. I ended up putting a closure on it, which I can change. And I also ordered some like bigger, I think they're made for like 8.5 by 11 notebooks. I also ordered some adhesive pockets. So I solved all the issues that this notebook does not come with. So yeah, I will show a lot of that in another video. But I decided that for this, since I was able to get full spreads on the pages, I forget what size these notebooks are, but you can get full spreads on each page. So I was able to get a full month habit tracker on one page and also a full month on one page. Hence, it's in the horizontal view. So if you don't like that, then this might be a little bit weird for you. For me, I didn't mind it because it helps condense it helps condense the pages that you're using. And yeah, so yeah, I ended up only dating 1 month, and I chose to use date stickers because I don't like the way that I write numbers, and it just looks a whole lot cleaner, and it gives me a tad bit of splash of color. So, and I have a boatload of these little date stickers from Hobby Lobby. So I was like, why the heck not? Might as well use them. I'm not using them for nothing else. I try to save them for my Clever Fox planners. But if I'm not using them at the moment, it's kind of wasteful. So going ahead and using it. I did do my ICDT method. I don't know if I mentioned this. This notebook has a leather cover. So the cover is leather. It's leftover leather scraps. I'll talk about that in another video, but it's leftover leather scraps. And the design is silk screen print, which is very unique. And they talk about how they're able to, they touch base on how they're able to melt the actual design onto the edges of the page. So that's what makes these notebooks so unique and just like beautiful in themselves, which I like. I like the fact that, you know, the design is on the edges of the pages versus it just being all white or gilded or whatever. It just adds a little bit more character to the book. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, basically we're getting down to the end of the video. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't share in this video, specifically for time preference, or for time reasons rather. Like I didn't want to sit down and set up this bullet journal with me counting dots and all that stuff on camera because I wasn't too sure myself, and it would have made the video much longer. I will probably do a mini video where I just show like a few different spreads with the dot spacing, because I believe there's 47 across and 57 down, which when I watched the video, the person said that there were 48 across and 48 down, which would have gave you even numbers. But because there's odds, it just made spacing a little bit odd, but I was able to figure it out at least. But I think I brushed over the ICDT method. So I did end up putting it in here. I don't even know if I need the ICDT method because I have a monthly habit tracker. We're going to find out this month. And yeah, this was the first mistake I made in this book. So my line didn't go straight with this marker. It was, I don't know if the camera picks up well, but it was all over the place. Like just blotchy, and the ink spread over. It just looked a hot mess. I went over it at least 2 times to try to clean it up a bit, and I was really, really scared that it was going to bleed through the paper, but by the grace of God, it did not. So, and it almost, I mean, just that alone almost made me do the unthinkable, which is like give up on the whole thing, because I was already like indecisive about whether or not I wanted to do this bullet journal for June and for the rest of the year, only because it's so busy for the summer. But I pushed through and we got through it. So yay me for not being one of those people to give up on their bullet journal. Yeah, because that could have been me in this. But, and also I think I was talking to my husband and we were having like alcoholic beverages. So yeah, not a great space to be setting up your journal, and yeah, feeling that way about mistakes and things like that. But usually these kinds of things don't faze me, but it did in this moment. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I'll need the ICDT method, especially with the fact that I have a monthly habit tracker. I don't know. So yeah, that's basically like my bullet journal setup. There wasn't much that I did, regardless of what size book I'm using or what I'm using in general. I always do the same thing. That part never changes. And a lot of times what I do, and this helps me, is I continuously go back to the front and flip through it several times and flip to sections that I use, because for me this helps me get familiar with the sections, like where they are. It helps me get a feel for how things are placed, so that way if I don't like the fact that all the months and the habits are here, then maybe I can change that in the future. Or if I don't like the fact that after I got through the weeks, it went into, or I'm sorry, after I got through the months, it went into a week and it went into like a weekly task list. Like I can change these things. Yeah, that's just me though. I like to flip through it a couple of times just to kind of get a feel for how I like the placement of things in my book. And also just to, I do it to like, I don't know, love it more, like try to build a relationship with it so that, it becomes something that I want to grab and take and do all the things in. My desk was a mess. It was a hot mess. But yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching, because it was long for me to edit. And yeah, that's the Nuna notebook. But I don't have much else. I am going to do a follow-up video, and you guys can look for that. But that's all I got for you. And I thank you all. What? Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you real soon in the next one. Bye, loves.